came along and he was up for draft, and we thought we'd like to be married before you went, which was ridiculous, but we did. We set it for the 19th of December, and the reason for that was because he had some vacation time at work.
So where did you guys get married?
Church parsonage was right next to the church.
Okay.
And we decided we just wanted to be married in the parsonage. And the minister wanted us, let's go over to the church and get married. And we wanted to get married here, and that's what we did.
Who was all at the wedding?
Well, they weren't invited, but his parents came and Dorothy and Alex came. My parents weren't there. And then my mother, dear person that she was, she fixed a nice dinner. While I was getting married, she was cooking dinner.
Nice.
That was what it was like in those days.
Gotcha.
And then the fun of it all was we had these aunts and uncles up in Clintonville, my mother's sisters and brothers. They came with a car with things rattling on it, and they had a Shirlee. Did you ever hear of a Shirlee?
No, that's the cans that you pull behind, or?
Yeah, you make noise.
Uh-huh.
And they came in. This was one of my favorite aunts.
Did you get to see him when he was...
I didn't have Denny until I was in Texas. I really wasn't expecting Denny when he came. And so he wasn't there when Denny was born.
Gotcha.
But then he got to leave, and he came back to Texas. Well, I just made up my mind. I was a bullheaded person.
Okay.
I had never gone any place.
Right.
Barely out of Oshkosh.
Uh-huh.
And I decided I am going to Texas. And I don't think he was crazy about the idea because he had to go out and find a place for me. Stupid idea, but I went.
And you how did you get there?
Train.
Took the train?
You didn't fly any place in those days. Aside, everybody that had any place they could rent out would rent it out. He was in an outfit with people from Nina, people that you kind of knew. Well, they would decide they needed somebody that had a certain expertise. They would come into that group and take you, and they did that with him and put him in this group with a bunch of Southerners. Of course, he wasn't well received. But the sad part of it was everything was very secretive, and I never knew when he was going to be shipped overseas. So the last week or so, he was quarantined and he could not come into town. So I would take my baby, just a little guy, and take a bus and go down to the camp and spend the evening with him. Never knew when it was going to be the last time I was. And then finally one day he called and said, well, we're going today, so goodbye. No, he was shipped to New York. From there he was shipped to England. And he was shipped there 9 months before the war. And then he was shipped overseas for D-Day. But can you picture this? How terrible this was? They put these guys all on ships. And when they got there, the Germans were waiting for them, shooting at them. Half of them were killed before they ever got to shore.
Yep.
They were lucky if they got on shore. Realize the seriousness of it. I was young and stupid. I didn't know what was going on. He was going to come back. I knew that. He couldn't say anything about where he was or what he was doing because they would have censored that. Yeah, those were the days. Well, then he followed through Czechoslovakia. When the war ended, he came back 2 years after D-Day. Denny was 2 years old. Denny was all I had, and I babied him and everything, and of course he was a little bit jealous. Well, when he first came back, we lived with my folks while we were looking for a place. And then you couldn't find apartments, you couldn't buy new cars. They didn't make any cars, they didn't make any refrigerators, they didn't make any stoves. So anything you bought was very much used. We got a place out in the boonies between Oshkosh and Neenah. So you had to get back and forth. Well, it wasn't easy. We had a hard time. Allenville.
Allenville,
A little country burg
Mm-hmm.
between Oshkosh and Neenah. And we found these people converted part of their house into an apartment. Everybody made use of what they had.
Way
We
before.
didn't move up here until the year before Lisa was born. We had Jill been then.
What hospital was Jill born in?
She was born in Oshkosh. And it was the beginning of our married life, and we just enjoyed having her so much.
Mm-hmm.
We decided, go ahead, let's have another one. Usually our pregnancies weren't planned, but that one was. That's when we had Lisa. That was the beginning of our life here. We had a good life. Denny was born in Texas, Jill was born in Oshkosh, and Lisa was born in Neenah. We lived on Smith Street.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's one I tell it over and over again. Jill was just a little tyke.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Neenah then. And she'd always say she's going to run away.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have my way, I'm going to run away. I'm going to run away. So finally one time I said, instead of saying, oh honey, we don't want you to run away, I said, oh, okay, run away. She goes upstairs. We had the bedrooms upstairs. Took a suitcase, put some junk in it, something hanging out of it, comes down the steps. I'm watching her all the while.
Mm-hmm.
Goes out on the street and walks down to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Then she stood there. She said, where am I going now? Finally had to turn around and come back home. But I was watching all the while, and I laugh every time I think of it, because oh, there's so many things with them. The wonderful thing about my girls is how they always got along.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they're little, for the age difference, which is usually that's not a good age difference, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But they just always got along.
That's good.
Yeah, I was so pleased with that.
Now, when you moved to Higgins, you also had a bunch of fun neighbors, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
That whole neighborhood was all friends, weren't
Oh
they?
yeah.
Oh,
That's where I met Dorothy.
okay. Who else was in that group with Dorothy?
Joan Dessler
Okay, yeah, you stayed close with her.
and Donnie Rank. That's where I met Judy Walker, who is now my dearest friend.
Uh-huh. Did Judy live on the block? Judy from the block?
She lived right next door.
Gotcha.
That's how I met her.
Oh.
We kept track over the years, and just strangely, they moved to different houses, but we all learned bridge, and we played bridge together a lot. Oh yeah.
Yeah? Where all did you guys go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't take more than one. We went to Yellowstone out west, and your mother did not want to go any place because she did not want to leave your dad.
Right.
She was gaga over him, and she was only about 14
She was
years old.
pissed off the whole time.
Oh. If you see pictures of her, she's got a long face. And she was determined to make it miserable for everybody else.
Hi.
When we moved to Lowell Place, Lisa was 16.
Okay.
She was my baby.
Okay.
And she finished high school and went off to college, so then Dad and I were alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we did our traveling. We traveled all over.
Those were great years.
We had such good times.
To pay for, are you doing this now?
I'm doing it now.
You're on camera.
How much did you have to pay to develop each one of them?
Hey,
Did
Grumps.
they give you-
So
Grandpa, the green thumb he's
They
got.
say never fly when
Well,
you have a
Grew these from scratch.
The mice are trying to hold him back.
2 for 2? You're 2 for 2 on the seeds?
2 for 2 so
2
far.
for 2, you got 3 left?
Got 3 left to try at a different size.
Beautiful.
Try in a bigger pot. See if I can get the roots going down to grow faster.
You're doing a marvelous job so far.
Yes, yes, isn't that pretty?
Very nice.
Lucky I remember all this.
Sousa Marshes, the play on the new
All right,
CD machine.
Gramps.
My favorite CD.
Who is that, Grumpster?
I went looking through
Sousa
that.
Marches.
What is that?
Well, they're all the military
Oh.
patriotic marches.
They're marches.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes this.
Not easy.
excellent.